Hi, this is Paul from Rick Jones Pianos. That was music of George Gershwin, the second of his three preludes. They were published in 1926, which probably means that they were at least partially written in 1925 in New York City, the same year that this piano was being manufactured in New York City by Steinway and Sons. So I thought it would be a good fit. I like to play Gershwin on New York Steinways, especially from the 1920s. This is the kind of instrument that Gershwin would have had access to, both in his home and in recording studios and on concert hall stages. Not necessarily this model, but New York Steinways of the 1920s. So anyway, this piano was restored in-house by us, but what I'm going to do at this time is turn over the piano bench to my colleague Sam, who actually participated in the restoration of this piano with other colleagues of mine. And so he probably can talk about it in a little bit more depth than I can and play it as well, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
So I'm Sam, previously behind the camera, and this is actually my first time playing this piano. I have not played one note of it, although I did, as Paul said, participate in part of its rebuilding. I did the pedals. But this piano has been rebuilt, Paul didn't say it already, with a New York Steinway action, including hammers, hammer shanks, hammer flanges, and whippings. Has new strings, new tuning pins, a new pin block. The soundboard has been refinished. Plate's been refinished and re-lettered. All the text of Steinway's patents we always rewrite in black paint. So we got the royal treatment. It should be a really nice piano, but I shall see momentarily how nice it will be. fun to play. That was a Robert Schumann piece, by the way, his Opus 6, number 17. The first recording I ever heard of that, and this is relevant, don't worry. It was made in the early 60s in France, in a abbey somewhere. It had a really airy, atmospheric, reverberating sound. Playing this piano reminded me of that sound that I first heard that piece on, more than most pianos that I can remember. Really a wide dynamic range, maybe overall a slightly mellow tone in my opinion, but it really, I thought, had a full sound, and I was able to kind of blend everything together in this wonderful atmospheric sound, which somehow I was not able to get on just any piano, but this delivered it for me. I really enjoyed it. Plus the touch is just really smooth, very even, responsive, predictable, not hard, not too easy. Really quite wonderful to play. I'm quite happy with this. So, Paul, when you played and or listened to this piano, what was your impression about the tone?
It's a tough question to answer. There were moments when it felt inclined towards mellowness, but there were other moments when there was greater brilliance available than I had originally thought. Looking back on it now and listening to you play just now, I would probably rate the tone a 5, right in the middle, between the extremes of mellowness and brightness. However, I'm sensing that you are leaning towards a mellower rating, like a 4.
I feel like it's, put it this way, in my opinion, this piano is closer to the sound one might expect from a 1980s Steinway. 80s to the present. Newer Steinways I've played have a sound which this piano reminds me of. Maybe not completely, but it is maybe closer than the average 1920s Steinway that I've heard.
Right. That's a good point.
In my opinion, at least, there tends to be a slight bit of an edge to the tone of a 1920s, 30s also Steinway, which reminds me more of, well, I don't know, the recordings of Vladimir Horowitz. He had a brighter sounding Steinway made around that time period, I think. That's just a reference sound. A little bit more angular sounding, in my opinion. Not that they aren't capable of a much warmer sound. It's just that I thought this was creamier, like a modern Steinway.
Right.
So that was my argument for a 4. And
Well, it's a tough call for me. So I would be inclined to agree with you. And I would just throw in my 2 cents. Yes, as Steinway's concept has changed over the decades, just like everything else, fashion and cars and so forth, their 1920s concept usually seems to incline towards brilliance and brightness, sort of the quintessential jazz age sounding piano. This is not that. So yeah, I agree with you. Your point is well taken. If you want to call it a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, I will go along with that.
I feel like we should.
Okay then, let us do so.
That being said, the scale design on Steinway since 1917 has not changed. That is the way the plate is shaped, soundboard bridges are shaped, and the way the strings run their course along all of those, as determined by all of those parts. All the proportions are the same. They haven't changed it since 1917. So this falls within the same design as what they will have today for the strings. It's just that for whatever reason, the pianos turned out different. So, you know.
Well, some of that is attributable to subtleties in organic materials like wood and felt hammers and things like that. I would imagine that no 2 ever turn out exactly the same. All pianos are uniquely different, even those that are mass-produced with tremendous consistency, like Yamaha, for example. Each one is uniquely different. They're never all the same. Steinways are even more like that, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah,
From the technician's point, yes.
definitely. And also, look at the famous artist pool up in New York, across from Carnegie Hall, where concert pianists go to choose the Steinway for their concert. They have something like 10 to 15 instruments lined up that are all theoretically identical, and yet each one is uniquely different. And a pianist will sometimes take hours to choose which one they want to have for their concert. So if they were all the same, they would just say, send one over, but they don't. So anyway, more of my 2 cents.
What else can we say? We did polish the hardware.
Oh, I just thought of one thing. The touch. How are we going to rate the touch?
I thought a 5.
A 5, okay, yes.
Right.
I totally agree with you.
Very even, neutral, not really too much one way or another, but very smooth and responsive.
Yes, yes, yes.
I was very comfortable playing
Agreed.
that music on this piano.
Now then, I'm sorry I didn't to interrupt your comments on hardware.
Yeah, they are nickel plated.
Yes.
Which is a feature of older Steinways for sure. I think other good makes like Mason and Hamlin from back in the day. Hinges were plated in nickel. We polished that. Pedals, usually the plating wears through, so we like to send them off to be replated, which these have been, and now they look basically like new down there. We like to mention this because most hardware has been brass for Steinway since around 1930, and the overwhelming majority of piano makers seem to prefer brass these days, like that Steinway right next to it from the 1960s. Elegant in itself, but it's always nice to have something a little different, which is also elegant, which is nickel. It's a striking, different appearance. Just a cosmetic thing. It doesn't affect the sound, of course, but it is nice to look at. And we will include an artist bench of some sort. This is a used bench, which is leather, not entirely perfect, but it is an option. And it's made by Jansen, I believe. Just making sure. Paul L. Jansen and Son, Incorporated.
There you go.
Very substantial quality benches.
Strikingly heavy.
Yes. So this is available. We also have new ones that aren't Jansen available. Like that one right there. That's new out of the box. This is used Jansen. Included with the piano, included within the Steinway Grand. And it does adjust up and down to suit the height that suits you. Especially useful for families who all wish to play the piano, and if you are a family and you want a piano, we do hope you get this piano. Having this adjustment will allow multiple members of the family of different statures to get just the right leverage at the piano, so everyone can enjoy the piano at the proper height for themselves. And that's just about it unique to this piano. Paul, I don't recall what MSRP new would be on a ebony M. Maybe I can see from $76,600.
Yeah. There you go. Yes, that's what they sell for new today. And the word around the campfire is there's no room for negotiation. You either pay the price on the price tag or you don't buy a new Steinway. So, and I should also mention that new Steinways include a 5-year warranty. They always have and still do. All of our used pianos here include a 10-year warranty on all parts and labor, plus a lifetime upgrade guarantee, which simply means you can trade the piano back for what you paid for it, as long as you're trading up to a piano that cost more than the one you're trading back. And then the next piano will have another 10-year warranty as well. So that's all I have to say about that. I think that speaks for itself. Any other thoughts, Sam?
I believe that's all.
Have we run out of information? I think we've covered all the most important points and even a few extra. So I would ask those of you watching this to come in and try the piano in person if you can. We're here 7 days a week and you don't need an appointment. Otherwise, you can call us at 301-345-5425 with questions or to arrange to buy the piano over the phone. And you can, if you wish, add this piano to the shopping cart on our website and buy it securely with any major credit card or PayPal. Thank you, Sam.